Liberals hate to see it, but President Trump is on a roll.
He seemed to be adios amigos. People were writing his political obituary. He is rising from the dead like Methuselah. Look at this. Hello, Trump's net approval rating among voters. This is the Reuters Ipsos polling. Look at this. In late April, he was 8 points underwater. But look at where he was in the most recent poll among voters. He's up 7 points to a minus 1 point net favorability rating. Donald Trump's not just doing better than he was doing in late April of 2025. He's doing considerably better than he was doing at this point in term number one, about 10 points better than he was doing at this point in term number one.
Trump is back. And the left, they're losing it. From torching Bruce Springsteen to bagging billions in Middle East investments, this wasn't just a diplomatic win. It's a win for the people. And tonight, Gutfeld and the Five are breaking it all down. You better buckle up because this one's going to hit hard.
47's riding high in the polls after delivering a Middle East masterclass, Jessica, bringing home trillions in new U.S. investments from the Gulf states. And yeah, he still found time to clap back at Bruce Springsteen's overseas meltdown, where the boss called him corrupt and treasonous. Trump saying Bruce is, quote, just a pushy, obnoxious jerk who fervently supported crooked Joe Biden. This dried-out prune of a rocker, his skin is all atrophied, ought to keep his mouth shut until he gets back into the country. And as he battles aging rockers, Trump's giving a lesson in humility on his Mideast tour.
I'm just thinking, we have a president of the United States doing the selling. Do you think Biden would be doing it? I don't think so. But it's so important. I think I have to be a cheerleader for our country. That's why our country is doing so well. You know the sad part? Whoever's next president, let's just say whoever's the next president is going to say, what a great job they did. Look, I built all these plants. I built all these factories. Can you imagine? I'll be sitting home. Who the hell knows where I'll be? And I'll say, I did that.
All right, Jessica, masterclass. It's not really in dispute. So my question to you is, how big of a masterclass was this?
Not in dispute at all. Approval rating bump. That's real life. I live and die by the polls, but that is directly related to him cleaning up his own tariffs mess. So that's moving from the 145% tariff on China to just 30%, where, you saw the CEO from Walmart, I presume, saying that the prices are going to go up. So we'll wait for that. And while we were in the commercial break, Moody's downgraded our credit for the first time in the agency's history. So all good news all around, masterclass. In terms of the big headlines, anytime that we're not talking about the $400 million bribe that he's taking from the Qataris and the jet is a good one, but he talked about
forever.
What?
It's been around forever, that so-called bribe. They were talking to the Biden administration about it.
Yeah, and who didn't take it? Joe Biden. And who did
we
take
got it for
Donald
free.
Trump. Anyway,
Biden would probably buy it, give it to Hunter.
Hoodles. He has all of these big headlines, right? We're getting all of this investment, like the $8.5 billion out of Qatar for Texas energy company McDermott. That was already announced in 2023 and 2024. Abu Dhabi, he says, a new $200 billion. That's a cloud computing deal with Amazon, also announced during the Biden administration. Saudis allegedly giving us $600 million. We haven't haven't documented all of it, but we do know that the airport project was announced last August. So the Washington Post has documented all of this, that at least a half a dozen of the contracts that he's talking about happened under the Biden administration. And that is something that Trump likes to do. He likes to show up and then take credit for things that
what about the other half?
People did. The other half, I'll give it to you. $300 billion of the $600 billion. But don't go out there and say you got $1.4 trillion in investment when you didn't really. Or at least give a nice, signal to the previous guy and say, hey, actually,
there is no previous guy. We already know there was no Joe Biden. So it's kind of hard to give him any credit.
He does have a birth certificate, and we did see him. Yes. He's not African.
Well, he claimed he was a Jewish Puerto Rican truck driver. Greg,
aren't we all?
You seem to want to challenge some of her assertions.
Greg's excited that I'm back.
I just like annoying her, that's all.
Me too.
Let's start with the numbers. In just a few months, Trump's approval rating has surged, even better than at this point during his first term. Meanwhile, what was Biden doing? Forgettable fist pumps and begging for deals the Saudis won't even sign. Oh, and according to the left, Trump is somehow stealing their deals. Jessica literally cited the Washington Post like it was a holy relic. Reality check. Trump shows up, signs it, steals it, sells it. Because unlike Biden, Trump doesn't need a teleprompter or a translator. He just knows how to win. And Bruce Springsteen, the boss, just embarrassed himself, calling Trump corrupt, treasonous from overseas. Bruce, stick to the music. Nobody asked for a political sermon. It's ironic, isn't it? The guy who once sang Born in the USA is now out here parroting left-wing talking points that sounds like they came straight from a DNC press release. Keep the mic for your concerts, not for your politics. You're turning more people off than you think.
Bruce should go to the Cracker Barrel because their porch needs an aging rocker. Oh, thank you so much for that. Yeah, Trump's like a pound of pastrami. He's on a roll. It really is about your filter. Trump's filter is anything is possible in this world. What's the Democrat filter? Everything's happening to you. It's their fault. That's where identity politics came from. You're being oppressed. It's not fair. Nothing's fair. You can't do anything about it. Bruce Springsteen goes around the world and tells everybody Trump is doing something to you. Then he hops in a plane and he leaves. What do those people do? There's nothing they can do. He's screwed up their mindset. He's telling them they're basically victims. Springsteen, I don't want to get into that situation where you go after a celebrity because he says something you disagree with, because you're a hypocrite. If you like Kid Rock because he's pro-Trump and you don't like Springsteen because he's pro-Biden, that's wrong. What you can hit him for is being lame, right? Number one, he's doing this in England. Number two, he's doing it in a way where there are no follow-up questions to whatever he's saying. And the best thing about this is that he just creates more rebels. Like, this guy used to rail against the man, and every time he opens his mouth, he is the man. Everybody looks at him and goes, God, you know what? The people that he doesn't like are actually more fun. These young people that he's like mad about, some of them might be his fans. They're having a great time. He's now the old guy on the lawn, shaking his rake at a cloud. His voice is raspy. He looks like, well, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, you've said enough about aging rockers. Martha, what do you think Jessica was trying to say there? Because I couldn't really figure it out.
Spoke just fine.
No, I'm still trying to figure it out because,
she said the numbers don't necessarily add up, but I would just say this. Some of the response from Democrats is, it's amazing what can be accomplished when the president isn't effing brain dead, says a senior congressional Democratic aide. This whole Middle East trip shows for a lot of negotiations, what you really need is somebody who has the energy and level-headedness to actually get it done. And I think a lot of Democrats sit back, especially people who worked for Joe Biden, and they see that he never looked at these things strategically. He went in there with the fist bump because he was only thinking 30 seconds ahead of that moment, right? So what are people going to say when I actually greet him? Then at the G20 later, he shakes his hand as if that's some sort of big accomplishment with MBS, with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. But, think back on this, because Joe Biden was never capable of this kind of bold action and thinking when it came to the Middle East. If it were up to Joe Biden, Osama bin Laden could still be alive. He was a no-go in that moment in the Situation Room, right? And that's who Joe Biden is. He is not the person who's going to walk in there and shake up the chessboard and say, look, we have a lot of past. You talk about the human rights violations. Look at Japan. Years after World War II, we figured out a way to work on the same page. No one denies 9/11. The fact of the matter is that after a war, which is what we had over 9/11, you have to start to put the pieces back in. What you say is, how about if we're friends and we isolate Iran? This is what President Trump is doing. Iran is looking at all of this going, we're out in the cold. And maybe it's actually time that we should make a deal. So that's the big message here. And President Trump said, no 30-page proposal for Iran. It's one page. You cannot have nuclear weapons. If you pursue this program, we will obliterate you. So that's the choice that's on Iran's table. We're going to watch that really closely. But Biden never had the kind of boldness to do what we saw this week.
I'm sorry. I'm just still stuck on what Jessica said.
But you didn't even understand it.
Hear me out. Now, I think I'm trying to figure this out. So you're saying that Trump spent all week signing all of these billion-dollar deals, and no other person from the Biden administration put their hand up and said, we did that. That was us. The first I'm hearing from it is from you, Jessica.
It wouldn't be the first time that I didn't think the Biden administration did their comms correctly.
Okay. You'd think someone would be like, oh, that was our deal. But no, it's just strange where she pulls these things out of.
Out of the Washington Post.
Again, that doesn't help
Democracy
your
dies
cause.
with you. What are you talking about?
It's the Washington Post.
Jeff Bezos is a Trumper now.
He is?
Have you not been paying
All right.
attention?
Then it's half right. Go ahead.
Trump's just running again. He's already leading. Middle East deals, economic growth, global dominance, and the media still can't stand it. If you're sick of being gaslit by clowns like Jessica and Bruce, then smash that like button, share this video, and drop a comment.